I got a great pattern for you. It is super fun and easy and anybody can make it. You can use your simple sewing machine. You need a straight stitch woven fabric and some cording. It's a very simple bag. It's perfect for lunches. I have a seam right here because it's a directional print. I had to cut the pattern piece in half, but in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how I do that. You actually don't even need the pattern for this because it's just a rectangle. But if you wanna purchase the pattern and help support Rain City, head over to RainCityPatternCompany.com and I'll link that below. With all that said, I'm gonna fire up my projector and I should preheat my iron. Yeah, let's make a bag. My projector is a Vizzy Image Explorer 2 and it's not available on Amazon anymore, so sorry about that. Before you cut your pattern out, just double check that your zoom is correct. Sometimes it changes, so you turn your grid layer on and just give it a check before you cut. You won't regret it, just double check. I have a directional print, so I am cutting my lunch bag with a seam here at the bottom. I'm adding 3/8 inch seam allowance. And that is so that my fabric is going the right direction on the front of the bag and the back of the bag. So once you get yours cut out, and you can do it on the fold or do it the way I did it, then you're going to want to cut out your ties. I'm going to use cord. You can use shoestring, lace, fabric scraps, anything, whatever your little heart desires. Before I go and iron these pieces, I'm going to serge all of the edges. That helps to prevent it from fraying. If you don't have a serger, you can use a zigzag stitch on your sewing machine, and if you don't have the option to do a zigzag on your sewing machine, like you can only do a straight stitch, then you're going to want to use pinking shears after you sew to clip the seam allowance. And that'll help to keep it from fraying. Not so much, but the best thing to do is to secure the edges. There's other options out there you could Google, so these are just a couple. After I get these edges all serged up, I'm going to take this over and iron the piss out of it. So now what we want to do is to press that 3/8 inch from the top of the bag. So because I've cut mine into two with the front and the back, the top of my bag will be, the top of the print. So here we go. I'm just going to fold over 3/8 inch. I'm eyeballing this. This is my gravity fed iron. I'll link it. I love it. Okay, now we fold over 1 more inch. Again, I'm eyeballing this. This is the casing that the ties are gonna pass through, and as you saw, my ties are spindly at that. And then, because I eyeballed this, I'm just gonna line it up with the other one. I like the gravity fed filter or iron, but these clips, they get stuck on my board, so I need to figure out a way to suspend them. Actually, I think you need a better shot from above, so I'll take you over to the table. I'll show you what we're gonna do next. Okay, so what we're gonna do when we get to the machine, unless you have cut yours into 2 pieces like me, you'll just be folding it in half. So what I didn't do, and what I'm sure a lot of you also forgot, was to transfer the markings. Matters not, because we can measure. I'm just trying to line up these perfectly because that's how my brain works. Okay. So where the clip is where we'll stop sewing. If you've cut yours on the fold, then you'll sew starting at the fold at the bottom of the bag all the way up, and then you'll stop. You want to stop away from the fold, so unfold that crap out of the way. These markings are on your pattern piece. You can go back and transfer them if you want, but it's just a little bit below where that second fold is. You're just going to want to stop sewing. Stop sewing like right around here. Right? It's not super critical. You can even stop sewing here. You just don't want to sew this, because if you sew right here, you're not going to be able to thread your ties through. This is your casing. So let's go over to the machine, and you're going to use a straight stitch 2.2 or 2.5 millimeters. And I'm gonna, because I have to do this bottom seam, I'm gonna start sewing here, and then I'll pivot here with my needle down, and then all the way around. I'll show you on the machine what that looks like. Okay, so this is my sewing machine. I'm using a Pfaff Ambition 610. I like Pfaff because it has IDT, or yeah, IDT I think is the acronym. And it's basically this walking foot that's on the back. And if you sew with knits, you'll know that is super duper important. So that's why I like this brand machine. 3/8 is our seam allowance. Of course, I'm eyeballing it, holding my tails, put my needle down. I'm gonna sew a little bit and then I'll back stitch. But make sure you hold these, otherwise you get ugly nesting. Okay. Now I got pivot, so needle down, foot up, rotate it 90 degrees. Okay, now what we should do is we should go to our ironing board and we should press the seam open. That's what you should do. I'm not gonna do it because I don't want to do it. You want to press this side seam open. And then sew. Well, we're already at the machine, so we're just gonna do it. So we unfold it. I'm gonna bring my needle over. And then hold my tails. Make sure I'm not going in reverse. I'm tucking this fabric underneath, because not that it matters, but that's how I want it. Okay, and because we're here, I'm going to fold over that 1 inch and do that casing also. Well, I gotta clip these threads. Okay, so I've just folded this back over. So we're gonna start and stop. We can't just sew straight through here. You can use a decorative stitch for this also if you want. I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to sew over the line of stitching I created when I sewed that 3/8 piece. I'm gonna hold my tails, and then don't forget to back stitch. And if you're wondering what kind of thread I'm using, it is Gutermann Mara 100% polyester. All right, let's mark the bottom of our bag. Next, we're gonna mark the bottom of our bag. It's 2.5 inches up from the bottom. And if you were smart and transferred your markings, you wouldn't be doing this right now, but I forgot. So anyways, here we go. Oops. And then we flip it over. because the bottom of my bag is not, it's not level. One side's higher than the other. So that, I have to go by that. So I should start with that side of the bag first. All right, we're getting that first line. There's my second line. So if you want to make sure you've done this right, you fold the bag over and the lines that you made. It's hard to do this because of all the line, see my first line didn't match, so I had to redo it, and the second line does match. And this is the line that we're gonna press and sew. You want to get the seams lined up. So this seam and this seam. And I'm just going to put some clips and hold this here because I still have to take it over to my iron. Oh, I have to redo this because it's kind of a pain in the butt. I'm opening my bottom seam here too to try to get it to do what I want it to do easier. Okay, I'm gonna go over to the iron. I'm gonna press the shit out of this. And then we're gonna sew it. And we'll almost be done. Okay, so I'm going to press the shit out of this. When you do these folds, all your seams should be lining up. So this seam is in line here, nice and tidy. Okay, let's go over to the sewing machine and we're gonna sew it. Okay, I'm just gonna sew this shape. It's what gives the bottom of the bag that square look that we like. I'll put my tray back in. And needle down. Don't forget to hold your threads if you can get a hold of them. Okay, so in this next step, all you gotta do is thread your cord through the casing that you created. So I've got a little knot here because otherwise my shit's gonna unravel while I'm threading. So really quick. Okay, so there's one side. And then I'm just gonna tie this into a knot at the end so that it doesn't come out. You can use a cute little toggle. You can do all sorts of stuff to really make this cute and fun. This is kind of boring. If I were to do this, oh, I like that position. If I were to do this again, I might like, I don't know, bead it or put some pretty string on here. So I started on this side before. I'll start on this side and that'll make my knot on this side, which is where I want it. All right, this is it. We're done. It's an easy bag. It's the right size for a sandwich box, or at least my sandwich boxes that I got from the Tupperware, biggest Tupperware. Anyways, there you go. You can make your pattern bigger if you want a bigger bag, smaller if you want a smaller bag. I don't know how much zoom to do, but you can fiddle with it, mess around, find out. All right, I hope you like this pattern. I will sew with you later. Bye.